try again. This is a story of a woman from England and a man from New Zealand, because we're not stuck in the 90s and there is something called, gender parity. Don't see why you get to go first all the time. We're stuck in lockdown together in the city of London. This is day 41. Hello.
Yeah, hello to you. And your sick dog, which you've brought into the show today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Harry's here, giving you an evil.
Hey, I'm the one that spotted that he wasn't feeling well, but I didn't expect him to be brought along for the show. Hello, Harry. Welcome. Doesn't say much, does it, Harry? But
No, he's a very quiet dog.
Reasonably. He does have a real knack for setting off the other dogs.
Yeah, but he only barks when people come in, whereas dog will bark at something moving 4 streets away.
Yeah, but, Doug's a Jack Russell. And I did send you an article about how Jack Russells, bark at nothing. They bark at nothing. Nothing. Yeah. Harry's all right. Harry's actually a Chiweenie.
We don't know that he's a Chiweenie.
He's a Chiweenie.
You think he's a Chiweenie.
If you look up images of a Chiweenie online, he is a Chiweenie, which is a cross between a Chihuahua and a wiener dog.
Yeah.
A Chiweenie! That's actually what they're called.
He's gone grey round his nose.
How terrible. I know the feeling. We have some new listeners from around the world.
Do we?
Yeah, we do. You want to have a stab at what countries they're from?
America.
No, America was already listening.
Right.
No, these are new countries to add.
Algeria.
No. You saying Algeria because it was in the show you were just watching?
Yeah.
Okay, we have new listeners from Japan and new listeners from Malaysia. So, hello and welcome. I would greet you in your mother tongues, but I simply don't know any Malaysian. Ohayou gozaimasu. That's Japanese. We also have a lot more listeners from Australia,
Yeah.
which I assume is people we know, but I don't know who exactly. But whoever they are, they're binging it. They're getting stuck in. We've gone from 2 listeners in Australia to 27 now.
Yeah?
So, yeah, they're all G'd up.
Somebody's spreading the word. Feel free to follow us on Twitter and say hi if you want to shout out.
Yeah, you're most welcome to do that. I won't personally be doing the shout-outs because I'm not that lame. But you'll get one, probably, from someone. Don't know who. Could happen. Speaking of Australians, I did, on my little list of people I wanted to interview, I had Nat's What I Reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He's been doing the cooking videos, which have blown up. Now, he's been doing YouTube videos for a long time.
Yeah.
But the cooking ones that they've done during the lockdown are the ones that have blown up and really done very well for him. And I was thinking it would be really cool for us to interview him.
Yeah.
Except today there was an article in The Guardian in Australia, and it sounds like he's a bit busy. It sounds like he's getting a lot of attention.
I was going to say, he's somebody that has no connection to you or Australia. Sent me a link to one of his videos. I thought, yeah, this guy's gone big. Snowballed. He's going to be something.
Oh, somebody else sent you a link?
Yeah.
I see. Because I did send you a link, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Weeks ago.
Yeah.
You can say, there's the proof that you were in there early. Only swapping phones, I've lost all of the recent messages that you've sent me, so it's probably a good thing.
That is probably for the best.
No more dick pics.
But I'm really glad for him that it's going well and,
good on him.
Things are going all right. Really interesting article. There's a whole lot of stuff in there that I never realised. He had a fucking lung removed.
Did he?
Yeah.
A friend of mine had his lung removed and then swam the channel.
Like, how does someone do that? Like, coming at it from the point of view of someone like me who's an asthmatic and has chronic lung problems, I just can't even imagine losing one of them and what I'd even be able to do then, because I'm pretty useless now.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of useless, I didn't get out of bed till 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Yeah.
I was awake for a long time, but it was raining again, so I just kind of just lay there listening to it for a long time and just sort of musing and thinking about things and trying really, really hard not to touch my phone. That's what I was trying to do.
Why is that?
Because I've been spending so much time on it.
Because you're sad that you've got a naff one and can't keep up with us cool kids.
Yeah, it's not as cool as your phone. I was relieved, actually, earlier today when the Amazon guy arrived to deliver your new case.
Yeah.
Because I used to give you shit about the case you had on your old phone because it was a huge, bulky thing and it's got a little trapdoor on the back so you can put your cards and money in it. It's huge and bulky and ridiculous. And I used to give you a lot of shit about it.
Yep.
But you ordered the exact same one for your new phone.
Yeah,
so
I did. Because it's a good case.
You have this amazing spelt little sexy little phone that you deliberately wanted because it was small, and you slapped this huge case on it. And I admit, like, having a little trapdoor on your phone case is kind of cool. Stick your card
Oyster
in there or
card in,
something.
yeah.
But it's only the trapdoor's only so small, and then there's the rest of the case, which is made to be the exact same dimensions. It's just all this massive amounts of wasted space, and it's just this big plastic brick now. Like, you've taken a phone from 2019 and sent it all the way back to 2009.
Yeah, but it won't break.
No, it won't. In fact, you could really take out somebody else's teeth with that.
Yeah.
I'm not volunteering, by the way.
Mm.
It's just that your phone is dangerous now. Anyway, it used
Smaller
to...
than yours.
Well, what?
It's thicker, but it's, you know, the other two dimensions are smaller, and that's what I wanted.
You mean width?
Huh?
Width and length.
Yeah.
But it's now substantially fatter.
Yeah.
Substantially, yeah. That's all right. So I don't feel quite as bad about you giving me shit about my phone now that you've done this terrible thing to your phone. Internet connectivity. So Virgin, who we have our broadband with and are genuinely not happy with, I've been running these ads on Facebook today, basically doing like a sign-up deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give us your money, we'll sign you up for cheap, all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
And 700 comments under that ad, all of them negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Virgin, shit as fuck.
They've been fine all year up until now, haven't they?
Well, yeah, I
That's the last probably 3 or 4 days, isn't it? Something's gone wrong.
well, it's longer
And they
than
did
that.
have something on their website saying that there was something wrong. But yeah, I've never had a TV program freeze since I've had it until now.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
now they all are.
Yeah.
It's very hard to watch anything, actually. But at the same time, I've been trying to use my computer to do remote work from home, and it's just been horrific. Like, we're supposed to be getting 100 megabits unlimited, and I was getting 8,
Yeah.
which is a little bit less than 100, and made work nearly impossible. Yeah, hard yakka, and then trying to deal with them as well. They have a real reputation for being just absolutely useless in terms of their customer service. Well, it's exactly the same. All these people were putting these messages and comments on the post,
Yeah.
and like I said, over 700 negative ones, and a whole bunch of people were complaining that their posts were being deleted, which is by Virgin. So not only are they not responding to the messages that they're getting, they're deleting the ones that are being placed there. They're just shit. They're just really, really shit. And Richard Branson, who's got a long, he's the owner, he's got a long history of...
I don't know if he does own them actually now, or whether he just set it up. Because I don't think... Does he still own the planes?
He's got to have some sort of financial involvement with various bits of Virgin. Otherwise, why would he care? Because the thing he's doing at the moment is he's saying that he's going to... he's gone cap in hand to the government saying that, he needs a bailout.
Yeah.
After he gave the government so much shit for bailing out British Airways in the past and saying they should just be allowed to die.
Yeah.
And now he's just a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
But we saw him in person a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
We went to see Russell Howard's show be taped at
Yeah.
the television studio.
Yep.
And he interviewed Richard Branson. And when they cut it down for television, you see 10 or 15 minutes of an interview. But the interviews actually usually go on for over an hour. And then they just put in the good stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, he was reasonably affable and polite to Richard Branson for a large chunk of it. But then Russell Howard's partner is a doctor.
Junior doctor, yeah.
And Virgin have also, there's lots of businesses. They've got the airline, they've got the trains.
Virgin Health.
Well,
yeah.
the trains have got shafted by the government as well for
yeah,
being too shit.
they got taken out, yeah.
The broadband, but they've also got a health sector. And, basically taking, profiteering off of the health system.
Yep.
And doing a shit job of it as well.
Yep.
And so Russell Howard took him to task and asked him some really hard, sweaty questions, none of which made it to the TV version, which is a shame. But boy, it was great viewing. Like, it was like an amphitheater. It was like being in ancient Greece, watching someone be thrown to the lions. Like, everyone was hanging on every word. Like, the silence in that room when he was grilling him was just, it was intense. And, but yeah, it went to, none of that made it to TV for one reason or another. I don't know if it was
lawyers.
You reckon? Yeah, I'd say so. So it was a shame. But yeah, I think Richard Branson can pretty much go fuck himself.
Yeah.
Genuinely. And so can his stupid fucking broadband company, who is shit as fuck as well. Anyway, fun stuff.
Yeah. In other news.
Yes. What? Got news?
Somebody's had a baby.
Who?
Boris Johnson.
What?
Yeah.
Is this his 4th, 5th, 6th, or even 7th baby?
6th. So there's 4 with his wife that he recognises, and there's one that was the result of a fling, and apparently he has nothing to do with the 5th child. I don't know whether or not he sends them money. I hope so.
He almost has to, doesn't he? Or otherwise he'd be taken to court.
Yeah, well,
he must have some sort of secret deal going on.
Yeah. And none of the other children have anything to do with this sprog either. And now he's had number 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it still sucks to be number 5.
Yeah. Yeah. But his 4 children with his wife have got some interesting names.
Posh English people give their kids the stupidest fucking names.
There's one whose middle name is Lettuce.
Oh, I'm going to look these up.
Another one whose middle name is Peaches. I was just thinking, fuck's sake.
Boris Johnson's kids'
You
names.
went to fucking Oxford. You should know how to pick a fucking name.
No, they they all have just because it's posh people. Like what's his name? The other
Sixsmith.
Sixsmith, because it was his 6th kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the name of that politician?
Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Jacob Rees-Mogg. I'm going to look up his kids' names as well because they're all
Sixsmith Rees-Mogg.
Yeah. Because they are
that
also
kid's not going to get the shit beaten out of him, is he?
Well, no, he'd be in some sort of private school.
Oh, yeah, they're worse.
Yeah. What for getting the shit beaten out of you?
Yeah, molesting each other. Fags, warming the toilet seat for them and all sorts.
What?
Haven't you ever heard of that? Didn't it happen at private schools in New Zealand? Or did you just not mix in those circles?
We don't really have a lot of private schools in New Zealand. And the ones that we do have are kind of... They're not like here. You and your weirdos.
Well, let me explain for those of you that don't understand the terminology. A fag is nothing gay or homosexual. It's basically your fag is your person who goes and does your jobs for you. Like goes and makes you toast at tea time and fetches your newspaper and does interesting jobs like warm the toilet seat for you.
I mean, that's a really old use of the word fag.
Yeah.
Like that's one of its more original uses. That's very old. Old
use of the language. But yeah, so it's quite a common thing in posh private schools to have a fag.
Wow. I mean, it is in New Zealand as well, but fag just means cigarette.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean...
Well, it means that here now too as well, but it used to be that it meant, somebody who would run about after you. Yeah,
well, that's one of the earlier versions of what that word meant. Like, it was... I can't remember how to use it properly, but it was like... a fag gatherer or something like that, because a faggot was a bundle of sticks. So it was like a poor person job to go out and gather a faggot of sticks, a bundle of sticks. So you were a faggot gatherer or something like that. And then it was shortened to fag, and it basically meant other jobs for the very poor to do, like runabout jobs. Yeah, anyway. I'm trying to look up the names of these children. You'd be surprised how difficult this actually is to do.
There's an article in The Sun today where it names all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, here you go. Johnson has dual citizenship with the United States. Didn't know that.
He was born over there.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fun facts. I can't find it. There's just too much bullshit information. Look
at Wikipedia.
I'm trying. Yeah, there's just nothing here. What about Rees-Mogg? No, again, like, it's just... Do people go through and remove children's names
I don't
from
know.
things like Wikipedia?
I mean, his children are, I think his legitimate children. The oldest is 24, I think, and they, maybe even older than that, 27, something like that, and the youngest is 16. So they're the oldest two are journalists.
Okay. Here's some names of some of Johnson's children. I assume the first four. Lara Lettuce Johnson.
Yep, told you.
Theodore Apollo Johnson. Cassia Peaches Johnson. And Milo Arthur Johnson. And yeah, I assume there'll be more of them. I know Rees-Mogg has really stupidly weird names for his kids, but I just can't find a list.
Well, I'll tell you what, why don't you look it up and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah. But I do know that his sixth child is named Sixsmith. Like, it's just ridiculous. Yeah, anyway.
Onwards.
Yes, please.
Movie review.
Yeah, sure.
So we've got 2 movies to review today.
Hit me.
The one that I didn't get to talk about yesterday because you wouldn't shut the fuck up about Big Game.
Oh, I thought that was our best movie review yet.
Well, it was our longest.
Yeah.
Length isn't always a good thing. So the other movie that I watched yesterday is a film called Dark Skies, which is not a new movie by any stretch of the imagination. I can't remember when it came out, but it was a while ago. I've never seen it before, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was good. It was a sci-fi kind of weirdness. This family seemed to be living a relatively normal life, and then there's mum, dad, and older son, younger son. Younger son starts having nightmares. Odd things start happening to them, and they work out that they are being targeted by extraterrestrials. And it's how they try and deal with that progressively more and more unsuccessfully as weirder and weirder shit starts to happen. Yeah, I thought you'd be into it, but you didn't seem that. It was a bit scary. Were you a little bit scared? Did you have to go put your big boy pants on?
I had other things to do. The bits that I saw, though, did seem quite spooky. So what would you give Dark
7.
Skies? A 7. Yeah. Is it for children?
No.
I'd say definitely
No.
not, based on what I saw.
No. I mean, I think it's rated 15. I think it's a fair 15.
Yeah. But it is a straight up and down alien abduction movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
So,
anal probing, though, which is probably why you lost interest.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Yeah.
Interesting tie-in. So yesterday, the Pentagon released UFO footage for the first time.
Coincidence. Or is it?
Oh, is it? But that is the first time, I believe, that the Pentagon have officially released something like that. I think that's the first time.
Yeah.
So an acknowledgement from them that these things exist.
Something was seen in the sky that they can't explain.
That's right, that they don't know what it is.
Oh, okay. Are they doing that thing of what happened around 9/11 of releasing news that they never think will be picked up because it's in the middle of COVID?
I mean, possibly. Yeah.
Quite a lot of stuff is happening like that.
But I mean, it's the same across media. There's plenty of pictures and video of UFOs. Like,
yeah.
There's
that flashy thing I recorded on my security camera.
Yeah, the birds flying past the security camera. That was scary. But I mean, there's plenty of vision out there, and it comes up all the time. There was a really good NASA video last year from the International Space Station where they just track this UFO flying alongside it for like 20 minutes. And it's really good detail, and it's like really obvious. And once again, like the international news media kind of go, "Oh well, whatever."
Life is out there. Perhaps it was them.
Like, what are we going to do about it?
Perhaps it was them that released the COVID thing. Perhaps it's not the 5G mask at all. It's the aliens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's just really weird because I don't know. I mean, it seems fairly obvious to me that they exist. But it's funny how we ignore the fact.
On the start of the
deal with our own
Dark
problems.
Skies film, there was a quote from Arthur C. Clarke that said, "One thing is certain, that we're either alone or there's something else out there, and both of those things are equally scary."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's safe to say we're not alone. but we just ignore that fact. And I don't know why humanity sort of does that. Like, why we ignore it. Like, is it easier just to ignore it?
I don't know.
Like, we do that with things. Like homeless people. You see people ignore homeless people. Like, is it just easier to walk past them and pretend they're not there? Because it's just easier? Is it the same with UFOs? It's like, okay, they're there, but I'm just going to ignore them. I'm going to worry about other things.
Not many people see them firsthand, I suppose. And there's always that bit of you that says, if I don't see it, then it's not real. You know, it could be a trick or a whatever. I mean, let's face it, there's still people out there that believe the Earth is flat and think the moon landings were faked. All sorts of stuff. So, just people believe no end of weird shit. Why wouldn't they believe something that's entirely plausible?
No, well, you made it sound like I'm wacky there. I don't like to lump myself in with the non-moon believers and the flat earthers. I don't think...
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is, in terms of understanding why people believe or don't believe stuff, I think if you part the alien issue for a moment, there's some really weird shit out there that people do or don't believe, and you can't... There's no logic to it. So equally, I don't think you can apply logic that people should believe in something that's fairly straightforward.
I think it's pretty different because, there's no evidence of a flat Earth. There seems to be a bundle of evidence of UFOs. So, I think that's a really different thing.
Okay.
I think what I'm...
We'll agree to disagree. Shall I talk about the next movie?
Agree to disagree? What a way to fucking end that conversation super quickly. Like,
told you I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
Well, there's probably people at home who are hanging on that. They're like, oh, they're finally talking about something interesting and they've got different opinions. No. We'll agree to disagree. That's weird.
We can come back to that one on day 80.
I don't think we probably will. We'll have forgotten by then. But it's interesting. Like, you can go online and you can find these videos that the Pentagon released of these
the
UFOs.
dog's seen something.
And something that's really weird about the videos. Have you seen them? Did you watch them?
No.
So they've still got the pilots.
Voiceover.
So they're all shot from military aircraft, all these videos. All of the pilots keep saying dude to each other. They're all like surfers. They're like, dude, check it out. I don't know what that is. Dude. Whoa. It's like...
Do you think that's really what they were saying, or do you think they've got voiceovers? They've been dubbed to make them sound more American.
We need to make our pilots sound thicker. We need to make it sound like it was the silly pilots of our multi-million-dollar fighter jets who saw these things. Yeah, no, weird one. Okay, what was your other movie?
The other movie that I watched is Extraction, which is a Netflix-made movie. There's something that we were watching before that I said was a Netflix movie, and it wasn't a Netflix movie at all. What was that? It's reminded me saying it's a Netflix movie. What thing did we review? Can't remember.
Okay, you don't have to. Talk about Extraction.
You gotta publish your corrections when you get it wrong.
Right. So
according to your notebook, what was the last thing that we reviewed?
Big Game.
21 Bridges. That's what I said was a Netflix thing, and it wasn't.
Didn't I say it got a theatrical release?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I'm saying you were right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Extraction.
Yeah, has got Thor in it.
Pardon?
It's got the guy that plays Thor.
Hemsworth.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very good. Yeah, it's half in Indian and half in English.
Okay.
So I'm guessing, made for that multinational market. It's the premise of the story is that there's a young man, I don't know, 12, 13, 14, something in that ballpark, whose dad was a drug dealer in India. Dad's been put away in prison, and Dad's right-hand man is looking after this boy, trying to keep him safe, keep him in his posh schools. He's driven everywhere with bodyguards and in a chauffeured car and blah, blah, blah. And then he gets kidnapped. And because this guy's in prison and his assets have been frozen, he can't pay the ransom. So the right-hand man comes up with an idea of getting somebody else to bust into this rival's stronghold and extract the little boy, young man, and then they'll basically kill him so that they don't have to pay him.
Okay.
And that doesn't work out because the guy who plays Thor, I'm just going to call him Thor, it's much easier to say. Thor has lost his son to cancer, so he becomes quite attached to this young man and decides to not to just abandon him when he realises there's no people to take him out of the country. So it's very, very, very action packed. It's pretty much a constant fight between Thor and everyone else. Goodies, baddies, the boy himself. It's just like it's very, very well done. And there's a car chase scene the likes of which I've never seen anything like before. I mean, it's that kind of continuous shot action thing. It must have been incredible to film because it's like they're doing a car chase through the crowded streets, and I mean it doesn't look like it's been CGI'd. It looks like they really were crowded streets, so it's quite something, So I'd give that a 7 as well. I'd say watch that.
Right.
Probably not with the children.
Very dubious 7.
Very dubious.
Because you just said that it's just one long fight.
Yeah. It's if you're
And you gave it a 7.
if you want that. So compared to Big Game,
Yes.
if you tune into Big Game and we're expecting an action movie, you'd be disappointed because it's half action movie, half kids film.
Uh-huh.
This is a tits out action movie. It's just in your face and.
And that's the kind of movies that you like. Zombie horror, aliens, and action.
No, it's not necessarily the kind of movie I like. It's the kind of thing that you don't have to think about. There's no moral dilemma or anything. You know what each character is going to do because it's just a formula and they followed it. Whereas 21 Bridges was a formula and they followed it and it was, it was of a type. This was some, it was in that genre and it was good.
We did watch one other movie.
Did we?
We did.
What?
Police Academy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've forgotten about that one. I'm writing it down so I don't forget again. Please, can I? That's a good film. I'd forgotten half of what was in that. There were little bits of it that I remembered that there was Mahoney and that there was the guy who did the funny noises and there was Hightower, but I'd kind of forgotten about the rest of the characters. The Blue Oyster Bar and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, that was good. That, again, is something I probably wouldn't watch with children because there's just too many titties.
There were quite a lot of tits.
Tits and bums. All female, I hasten to add.
No, there was some naked man stuff. There just wasn't penis.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there was topless men too.
Yeah, there weren't bottomless men. There weren't any male bums, were there?
No, I guess there weren't.
Yeah.
But
there were gratuitous female arseholes, but there weren't any.
Not arseholes.
Well,
There was one bottom. There's one bottom where they're doing a tracking shot and it's going past the windows. And it's obviously the female dormitories, and someone takes their towel off and hangs it up, so you see a bottom for a second. And that's
there's more than one. I'm sure there's more than one. I'm sure in the beach party scene there were some.
No, there was heaps of boobs though.
Yeah.
Tons and tons of boobs.
Every time I go to a beach party, I dance around the fire and decide to take my top off.
I've heard that. Mm.
I mean, that's believable.
But what would you give Police Academy?
What would I give it? Well, I don't know, 6.5. Yeah.
It's like you just didn't want to give it a 7 because you've given everything else a 7.
Yeah. It wasn't as good as Dark Skies or Extraction, but for its time, yeah, if I was reviewing it at that time, I'd have given it a 7. But, it hasn't aged well.
Well, some of the bits in it I thought were handled really well. The gay bar stuff, for example. Like, they didn't take the piss out of people for being gay. Like, that wasn't the joke.
No.
And I thought, well, that was great because I think the movie's made in 1984.
Something like that.
Yeah, and none of the... Like, so they go into the Blue Oyster Bar, which is a running gag in the Police Academy movies. And it's a whole bunch of Tom of Finland-esque biker guys in this bar. And all they do is dance with the guys who end up in the bar.
Yeah.
They just dance. That's it, And it's a great gag and it pays off really well. There are other there are other jokes that I think work better for the way they handled it than how they would do it today, for example. There's a scene where Captain Harris, who's like the big mean guy who's in charge, ends up with his head stuck up a horse's ass.
Oh, yeah.
And they never show it. And then
it's just implied.
It's implied, but in the next scene, a guy comes up to him and goes, "Here, Captain Harris, here's your new hat."
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's brilliant. Like, that's so well done. Like, you just use your own imagination to sort of piece it all together. I thought that was quite good. So,
what would you give it then?
Well, I think 6.5 is probably a fair score. I think 7 is probably too high for Extraction at a guess. I'm going to have to go away and watch it now, damn it. But in terms of some of the older movies...
I've written 4 things down for today. Dark Skies, Extraction, Police Academy and Bojo Baby. What would you give Bojo's Baby?
What, out of 10?
Yeah.
I haven't even seen a picture of it yet.
No, they haven't said anything about it. Just said it's arrived.
Maybe it's a Harlequin baby. Anyway, moving on from that horrible image.
Don't Google that. Really, don't.
Yeah.
Just don't. You're a horrible person, Jet. You're a horrible person.
It's just horrible person. I thought some of the stuff in Police Academy didn't age well, but some of the stuff stood up. Like, it was okay. And, it's a lot of basic slapstick comedy stuff, but I thought...
What to do in a riot.
I thought it was handled reasonably well.
Might be useful.
What's interesting about Police Academy is they made 7 of them.
What's really interesting is that the first one was free. It's just recently added to Amazon Prime. And all of the others you got to pay $7.99 or $5.99 for. In fact, there's only one that you have to pay $5.99 for. It's like, fuck that for a game of soldiers. The sequels are always shit, aren't they?
Well, one of the interesting things about Police Academy is the sequels weren't all shit. Police Academy 2, I think, was better than the first one.
Is that when the guy who's always accident prone, his wife joins up? It's like all the significant others of them all join up, don't they?
They definitely get some other characters who aren't in the first ones. Who become sort of main characters throughout the course of the rest of the movies.
It's like with what's the thing? I want to say the burrowers, but that's not what I mean. The things that live underground, the worms.
Tremors.
The Tremors movies. Is the further on from the Tremors movies you get, the further away from those 2 lead characters in Tremors you get.
Well, Steve Guttenberg, who is Mahoney.
Yeah.
He's still stuck around for the first 4 movies.
Did he?
Yeah, they just made them back to back to back to back. They just, punched one out every single year. There was a Police Academy movie. Yeah. And they made them for peanuts, but at the same time, they all made money.
Well, if it makes something for peanuts.
Yeah, but I mean, they were all doing really well at the box office. Like, they were the thing that you did at the time. You went to the movie, you're like, oh, cool, a new Police Academy movie, and you went and saw it. Like, yeah, and they did 7 of them. So there was the first 6, they were all in a row. And then they had a little break, and then they did a 7th one where they went to Russia, something like that.
I remember they went to Miami one time, didn't they?
Yeah. But yeah.
Was that 5 where they went to Miami?
You've got a better knowledge of Police Academy than I could have ever imagined you would. I would love for us to sit down and watch the whole lot.
Yeah,
watch them all, but
you pay for them all.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this expectation of money changing hands when we know full well that these movies have already made money. Mm-hmm. I did read a really interesting article today about Men in Black. So the first Men in Black movie, right? Mm-hmm. Mega blockbuster, right? Technically on paper still hasn't made any money.
Why is that?
Hollywood accounting.
Bullshit.
Yeah. No, it's not. I'm not even
I'm not saying what you are. I'm saying the whole thing is bullshit.
Hollywood accounting is bullshit. There's no question about that.
So where's the money gone then?
It's a good question.
All the ticket sales and the DVDs and the spin-off merchandise and everything.
Well, one of the Harry Potter movies obviously all made megabucks.
Yeah.
One of the accounting sheets from that movie leaked online a while ago. And again, it was basically trying to say that Harry Potter made no money and that the movie was well into the red.
Why? Well, whose interest is it to do that?
So if the studios can make a movie look like it didn't make any money, then they obviously don't have to pay any tax. They also don't have to. They can also apply for tax credits.
So where does the money go then?
Great question. Excellent question. but it's all a fucking dodge.
J.K. Rowling, I'm onto you.
Well, no. See, she's probably not involved with that side of things. She'd be doing her own stuff, her own dodgy things. Who knows how dodgy she really is? It's hard to say. A little bit dodgy.
She gives a lot of money to charity.
Well, that's good of her.
Yeah. She doesn't like trans people, though, so she's
I have heard
off
that.
my Christmas card list.
Yeah. Oh, God. Just imagine when one of Jacob Rees-Mogg's kids has a sex change. It's going to put the wind up him.
Maybe that's why Boris Johnson doesn't acknowledge the illegitimate one. Perhaps it's because they're not too sure what gender to announce its arrival as.
Oh, you are mean. We shouldn't be mean to that kid. That kid's probably... Things are probably sucking for that kid. Dad doesn't want to know, It's just... It'd be horrible. Yeah.
I don't know, I'm trying to weigh it up. What would be worse, your dad not wanting to know or your dad wanting to know and him being Boris Johnson? I think I'd go with not want to know. If I had a choice. Honestly, if, my mum came and wanted to sit me down and say, look, I've got some news for you, and it turned out that Boris was my dad, I'd be very unhappy. Probably more unhappy than my dad.
What, your dad's unhappy about being your dad?
No, my dad would be unhappy about not being my dad.
Oh, you're right. You've lost me now. We've fallen down this rabbit hole, and I'm staring at the wall. I don't know what's going on. Rightio. All right, we're done for the day. It was a movie review heavy episode. We covered a whole bunch of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to kill some time during the lockdown, go watch all of the Police Academy movies. Why in the hell not? There's plenty of them. More than
Let us know if you find a way of watching them for free.
Yeah, definitely get in touch. Hopefully the dog feels better. He didn't look very good.
He smells a bit as well.
Yeah. Well, I have been saying that. Did you put dog shampoo on the...
Yeah, I did.
on the laundry
No,
bin?
it's not that smells.
Really?
It's one specific end of him that smells.
Oh, God. Well, I'm glad we're in an enclosed space.
Well, the quicker you play that fucking ukulele, the quicker we can get out of it.
And on that note...